Hey everybody, welcome. We're going to try to give this game, this is the first time I'm playing this game, so we're going to try to give this a go. I'm going to run the introductory mission here. First of all, let me get my thing up so I can see what the heck I'm doing on this side. If everybody can see the board and sound, let me know, and I will continue on with what we're trying to do here. This is going to be a little tricky, but I think I can do this. So it's just a matter if we got people watching. Do we have sound and everything? In the meantime, I'm going to keep setting up here. These get put aside. These get shuffled. So I want to make sure I get these all shuffled up. And I'll explain things as we go. Sounds about as good as anything. Alright, I guess nobody's here, so whatever. So anyways, I'm going to shuffle these up. And that'll go there. And then I just got to be able to draw the enemies, because the bandits are on here, and I just got to pull those out. So if you just give me a minute. In the meantime, you could take a look at some of the pilots that we are going to be using for this. I've just started setting up my pilots. Kabuki, can you hear me? And can you see me? That's the most important thing. I know you'll at least answer. It says here that I have to take from 1945, which I have. And we're going to use a little cup over here. And we're going to take all the bandits and junk from 1945. Boy, I'm just dropping everything. Alright. I guess nobody can hear me. I hear you well, Rob. Thank you, Kabuki. I was just about to shut it off. Alright, so I'm just pulling out the bandits here. These are the bandits. I've got to put them all into a cup that we're going to be using. And I just want to make sure that we get everything in there. We're going to do a short campaign, which is the initial campaign. KB84, KB84, KBI 84, KBI 43, 84. Alright, so it's pretty much everything from 1945. And then we're going to throw in a whole bunch of other stuff in here. And 1945, there we go, 1945. We're going to throw that in there because there are chances that there are no bandits at a particular. We're going to draw for them. Doesn't mean that we're going to get them. Okay, so let me get all this in here. It's really a neat system how this all works. I think you guys will enjoy watching this. Whoever watches it. I know it's last minute, but it's something I really wanted to take a shot at and see what we can do with it. Alright. I do have to finish this. And we're almost there. Matter of fact, we're about 2 seconds away from doing this. Alright. And there, that goes in there. I broke all these things up, and it was a bit of a pain, but I got it done. Alright, let's get the rest of these in there. It's nice how everything kind of fits into this. I mean, really does a nice job with everything. Is that a K43? Yes, KI43. So I'll explain things in a second. I'm making up a cheat sheet for the tactics and kill team. Okay, that has nothing to do with what I'm doing here. So, cool. All right. Let's start taping things, I think. All right, so that goes here. That goes there. So I'm just going to explain this real quick. I've got my dogfight thing here. I'm going to put this over here so we have an idea, but I'm going to put this out underneath it. Now, there we go. And here you fill out your sheet of everything and you kind of get ready to do battle here. You have to pick your teams, which are up here, and you're only allowed a certain amount of people. So I'm going to show you guys the card for the setup. For a short campaign, you're starting aircraft are going to be 2 newbies, 2 green. Linked campaigns. Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Let me get the right one here. I'll make sure that we have the right. Oh, they're underneath here. Yeah, there we go. It's a player help sheet. So starting at aircraft for campaign length, and those are the starting aircraft that I'm going to have up on the top there. I have a newbie, 2 greens, 2 average, 1 skilled. Now your cards are broken out a certain way. These are the tokens that are going to be used on the actual game board here, which we'll go back over to the game board so we can take a look. So we have our game board here. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a target card, and that's going to be our initial, our first mission for our first day. And we will follow all the rules on that card, and we will set up a team. It will show us what we have to do and how to assign. Did Rob get to assign Gung-Ho? Yes, I did. I assigned Gung-Ho. If you see here, there's a Gung-Ho token here. There's a Gung-Ho token there. And I bought some skills with Gung-Ho because Gung-Ho is pretty important. So, let me just put this aside here. And we're going to get going sooner than later. I just need to pull out the actual... Oh, there we go. So the recon token, our target token, our turn marker. What else do we got in here? Our flight leader and our intel marker. These are all important markers. Put that aside there. Okay, I think I have this. We have this squared away. We have all the chits in here for the bogeys. So we're going to put that over there. We do have some additional chits that I have to put aside here. So just give me a second. And those I will draw randomly when we need to. We have stress markers because we're going to need stress. And this is just going to be stressful trying to do this. So there you go. So I'll explain things as we go. And everything you can see on here, I'll explain it. I'll walk you through everything, and I can always in that left hand corner just do that. I don't know why that's so blurry. It's because I'm using a different camera. I should have probably used the better quality camera, but I'm not too worried about that right now. So all I want to do is focus on this actual board. Everything else will be focused on the other cameras because we'll be able to do this and this, and I will be able to show you guys everything that you need to see going forward. So underneath here, this is my dogfight board. I'll explain that as we go. We've got dice. We're starting this campaign with our recon on 2 and our intel right there, so no change. So as that changes with the cards, you'll see we only have 5 turns to complete the first day. We're going to do the first day today, and we're going to see how we do. Our target will depend on what card I pull because the cards are actually based up on everything in this area. All right, here we go. 3-leader games are always fun. Cool. Be sure to post on Discord. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to just ignore the chat, and we're going to just get going with this game. All right, so let's go to camera. There we go. All right. So, first thing, we're going to draw a target card. And here is our target card. So, I need to do 6 damage here. Okay, and what's going to happen is I can only take 5 planes. So, in order to do 6 damage, I'm going to have to take a couple of bombers and some escorts. So, let's go take a look and see who I want to take. Well, for this first mission, I'm going to take Sakamoto. I think he will do fine. I'm going to use him as air support. And who else do I want to take as air support? Now, because he has a plus 1, even though he has a +2 air to ground. Boy, but I don't want to load him up with bombs. That's for sure. Let's see. Who has good air to ground? I'm going to take, as my bomber here, I'm going to take Benson. So I'm going to load Benson up. He can drop a 250, a 500, and a 1,000. Now, a 500, which we have right here, along with a 250. Let me see if I can pull out 1,000 here, because 500, they have a cost. And we're going to go over to the other camera, and I'm going to show you the actual cost. There we go. They actually have a cost, and if you look right there, up in the right left-hand corner, the cost is 1. Now on the actual plane here that we want to load Benson out with, right here, he has a loadout of 2, so he can hold a weight of 2. So a 500 would be pretty good. Yeah, well, all right, let's go with 2 500s for him. We're going to count on him getting us there. So he is going to, we're going to load him up with, he can only drop him in low altitude though. And we start the game high. Or you can start the game in any altitude that you want. So we're going to load him up with 2, and we're going to take him. He also has an ability called Grit. So as this gets going, we'll be able to show you what's going on. So that's 2 planes. I gotta take 3 more planes. I'm gonna take 2 support and then 3 bombers. Boy, oh boy, air to ground, air to ground. Lewis might do it here with a +1, and he gets +1 when he dives. So we can get him to dive with a +1. He goes in slow. He has cool +1, so he can take stress, and he has a weight of 2. Let's see what we have in here. Do we want to take some of those 500 or 1,000 pounders? I don't know. Or do we want to take a 500 and take, if it's slow, +1, so that means we would need an 8. Boy, this is a tough call because we really want to do damage. Now the problem is when you drop a 250, you're only going to be doing one actual damage, and we need to do 6. So I need each plane pretty much to really hammer the crap out of that. So let's see what a 1,000 pounder will do, if I can find one here. I've got them all buried in here, but we'll find it. We'll find it. 500. This is always a hard decision, trying to decide what your loadout's being. Matter of fact, picking the planes is just hard onto itself. But it's a lot of fun, believe it or not. Okay, so that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. Boy, oh boy, where are all my bombs? Oh, they're probably over here. That's why. I separated everything. Yay. Okay, so a 1,000 pounder. Let's go take a look at a 1,000 pounder and what that's going to do. And we're going to come over here, and I'm going to show you a 1,000 pounder. Now the neat thing about a 1,000-pounder is on a 5 it does 1 hit. On a 7 it does 2, and on a 10 it does 3. But it takes up 2 weight. So on the other side is napalm, but napalm was allowed in this mission too. So on a 3 is 7 and a 10, but that loadout is 2 too. I think I'm going to give the 1,000-pounder to our friend here, and hopefully that's going to be enough to do it. So for Lewis, we're going to give him the 1,000-pounder. All right, so we've got Lewis, we got Benson as our guys that are going to be. Here's our 2 bombers. We have 1 fighter. Boy, I'm wondering if I should just take 1 fighter on this mission and 4 bombers the way I'm going. I need to get this rookie up to speed. Jeez. He could take a 500, and he could take 2 of them. 500. Jeez. If we can get enough modifiers. But he's so doggone bad. If he takes any kind of stress, he's in trouble. 500-pounder is going to do 2 and then 3. Yeah, we're going to take the rook and we're going to try to protect him. I think that's what we're going to do, and we're going to come in one direction. We're going to take the newbie, and we're going to give him 2 500-pounders. He is going to be our 3rd bomber. Now we have to protect these guys. We've got Lewis. Who's good air-to-air? Well, Neville. Neville's the guy I got to take, so it's going to be Sakamoto and Neville, and then these are going to be our 3 bombers. Okay, so we've got everybody pretty well set. Let's hope that we can pull this off. We're going to make Sakamoto the flight leader, okay, for this day. So, wow, here we go. This is going to be ugly. Let's see. We get 5 victory points, and I'm going to show you what we get as soon as I get these bombs put away. And, well, it's not too bad because our approach, there's going to be 1 sight in every corner. So we're going to pull all those in a minute, and I'll show you how we do it. So we drew target card. We're going to select the target. Now the problem is that has scramble, which means soft. Scramble means that you can't pull another card. Normally you could pull a card and maybe have a secondary mission, but you can't with Scramble. Scramble is going to limit you to that day that the most you can get is those 5 victory points. Now what happens here, and let's go to our main camera here. What's going to happen here is we're going to be able to get 5 victory points. Now on the target, there's going to be 1 sight and 2 bandits. Okay, and on our approach, there's only going to be 1 sight on each approach site. So we're going to draw that. Determine and place sites. Okay. All right, so I'm going to draw first for the approaching. Number 1, that's going to be riflemen are going to be there. Riflemen are going to be here. And here is no bandit. This is going to be a rifleman and a rifleman there. Now, also in our target area, they're going to be, we're going to have no bandit, so there's going to be no bandit. We've got 1 bandit here, so we got lucky there. And then on the site, we're going to draw that. Okay, so we're going to have to deal with 1 plane, okay, and then riflemen once we come low, and that's the way we're going to have to deal with that. So I'll talk everybody through what goes on here. So just bear with me as I'm learning this pretty much as you are. Probably should put the better camera there, but I wanted to keep the better camera over on the roll area so you guys can see everything. let's see. So we drew, as you can see here, and you can probably just see it barely, we drew our target card. We select our targets. We determine and place sites. We assigned pilots. Okay, so that's where we have. And then we armed our aircraft. Now, draw a target bound event card. Okay, so we're going to draw an event card, and on this event card, we're going to read the very top part because that is the target bound event. So let's go over to our other camera here. Whoops, not that one, not that one. How about that one? Perfect. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys exactly what's going on here. Add 1 to all of your pilot's die rolls. Oh, okay. So that's one that we're going to keep. We're going to add 1 to all your pilot die rolls. That's pretty good. On the ball. Nice. All right. So we're going to keep that card. We're going to keep that over here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do after we draw the card, we're going to place our aircraft, and we're going to choose our altitude. So right now, we're going to go high. So we're going to come in. We're going to come in right here. And we have our 3 guys here at high altitude. And we're going to come in and we're going to do what we have to do here. All right, let me move that out of the way. Next thing, determine and place bandits. All right, we did that already. Intel air defense adjustment. Okay, we don't have to do any of that. There is no Intel air adjustment. There's no adjustment there. So there's no change in Intel, and there is no recon. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. Is up over here. If this was on here, you would be able to take out a site. So as this intel moves up, we can take one site away. We can take a bandit and a site away. And it actually is pretty cool because it kind of helps you through your mission as you go. So let's get back to the main board there. Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we did that. We're going to draw over target event card. Okay, so we're going to draw our over target. Do I draw that? Oh, target bound flight. Okay. Place turn counter. Okay, there we go. So now what's going to happen is we are going to oops. Boy, I got to remember which scene that is. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to add 2 to all rocket attack die rolls. Well, we don't have any rockets, so this card is pretty much useless. We're just going to discard it. There we go. All right. Let's go back to our main board here. There we go. And I'm going to get something to drink right here. Because mouth is already dry. All right. Oh, thank you. How many planes do you have to choose from? Depending on the card, and I'll show you over here very quickly, once again. Over on this card, it gives you a determination of the cards that you can choose. You can choose a Dauntless, a Corsair, an Avenger, or Mitchell for this particular assignment. Now, this target is going to go on 4. So we know that we're going to go on 4. So after the mission, we're going to take a stress, and you're going to see what stress is going to do. So stress can be pretty nasty, but that's our target for today. So without further ado, let's go down and hit the scene here. There we go. Wet my whistle. Exactly. So over the weekend, we're going to try to do all 3 days, but today we're going to do 1 day, and we're going to see if we can get this right. And I'm going to double check and make sure I don't do anything wrong after the first day. All right. So now, after we've done that, place the turn counter marker in the box number 1, which we have right there. Dive bombers dive to low. So if I want to dive, I can dive, but I'm not going to do that. Fast pilots attack first. Okay? We have no pilots with fast anyway, so they're not going to attack. Sights and bandits attack. Well, there's nobody in anybody's square, so they're not going to attack. One pilot may suppress. Pilot under attack may use invasion. Slow pilots attack. Well, all my guys have slow because basically they're slow. And what we're going to do is I'm going to move. Okay, so I'm coming in from the north. Let me just push this down a little bit so you guys can see where I am. There we go. All right. All right, and I can, let me just turn that off. Whoops. I'm going to shut off the main camera, right? Way to go. Okay, we can shut those off. We don't need those right this second. And matter of fact, we just don't, I don't think we need them at all because the way we're going to do this. Okay, let me just move this. Again, this is an experiment. I'm trying these 3 camera things, so please bear with me as I get better at things and I see different things and I watch the video back. We're going to get more technical with the stuff that we're going to be doing and how we're going to go about playing these games and doing more of these war games, and especially something complex like this but fun. We're definitely going to do the best we can. Okay, now here's the big part: aircraft move. Okay, so we are going to move in high position into this north approach. Now the bandits are going to move. Because we have one bandit here, the bandit is going to come and move into here. Now we can choose either 1, 2, or 3, 4, 5, or 6. And that's the person that the bandit is going to go after. So let's go up to here. No, it's there. Let's roll. Look, we even have a thing where we can roll. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this particular bandit is going to go head to head with Sakamoto. So next turn, they're already locked into battle. All right. Great. Now we're going to advance the turn counter. So we're going to go, as you can see, we are locked here in the combat. And now that we're out of that area, I can probably just bring this in a little closer. Hopefully it, I don't know why this can't, okay, there we go. All right, so now you can see things a little bit better. I know it's not perfect, but we will get there. And I apologize for anybody that it's a little blurry. I think that's mostly because I have to make some adjustments on this camera. All right, so now what's going to happen? Homebound, we're not going to worry about. Debrief, we don't do. All right, we advance the turn counter to turn 2. We only have 5 turns to do this, so we've got to move fast and we got to drop these bombs. So we're going to come up to over target resolution. So dive bombers, if they want to dive low, they can dive low, but we're not going to do that until we get over here. That's when we're going to come low. Then what we're going to do is fast pilots. They're going to attack. Nope. Sights and bandits. Well, we're still high. So this low target is not going to attack any of our bombers. Our bombers are too high. Then what we're going to do is slow pilots are going to attack. I'm sorry. Sights and bandits attack. So the bandit is going to attack. Okay, so how does this work? All right, we're going to go back over to the scene, and I'm going to show you how a dog fight happens. Okay, we're going to break out our dog fight chart here. Now, what happens is that the dog fighter gets to go first. They have a -1, which, wow, that's pretty bad for them. But in air-to-air, we have +1. So what's going to happen is we're going to roll on this chart here. Okay, and that's the maneuver that the enemy plane is going to do. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to roll a die. So let's do that. First of all, we're going to get that die out of here. All right, and then we're going to come back here. There we go. All right, look at that. So we're going to roll a die on that chart. And we rolled a 6. All right. So what happens on a 6? Well, we're going to come over here and we're going to see what a 6 is. On a 5 or 6, they are going to attempt a yo-yo. All right. So now they're going to roll again. So we're going to come over. We're going to pick up that dice. And we are going to roll yet again. And we got a 10. That is not good. So here's what's going to happen, and this is kind of bad news here, okay? Because on a 10, here's what's going to happen. Now, on a 9 plus, what would happen on a yo-yo is they would change 2 positions and gain +1 on an attack. Well, that's all fine and dandy. But over here, we have +1 on air to air. So we're going to add +1 would -1. So that's going to bring it down to a 9. And then the actual bandit itself has a -1. So it's going to bring it down to an 8. So what does that do? That means +1 position and 1 attack. +1 on attack. That's not cool. So what happens here is we're going to go back to our main board here, and he gets to change position. So what happens is Sakamoto actually gets in a disadvantaged position. So what does disadvantage do? On a disadvantage, they're going to get +1 to any attack roll. And they're getting +1 because they rolled because of the 8 and the yo-yo gets a +1. Now here's the advantage that we have is that we get a +1 and they have a -1 to any roll. So actually he's at a 0. So now we're going to attack. Now there's some numbers here I want you to see, and we're going to go back up to here, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull the actual bandit that is attacking. Okay, on a 5 he's going to do 1 damage. Okay, on a 7 he's going to do 2 damage. On an 8 he's going to destroy our plane. We can't have that. That's bad. Now hopefully we can survive this somehow. So let's bring that back here. Now we're hoping that we roll crap, which would be nice for once. Let's see what we roll. Oh, a 9. Oh, that is disastrous. That is absolutely disastrous. Let's see what Sakamoto can do, and this is going to be bad for us. He does have a Gung-Ho, and a Gung-Ho might bail us out here. Because instead of taking damage, we can use our Gung-Ho. So let me just double check and see what Gung-Ho. If this target is destroyed, all pilots in your squadron regain all Gung-Ho to use. Okay. Alright, yeah, that's great. So I'm just going to look up Gung-Ho because I believe that you can use it to save yourself from being destroyed. Of course, I'm really going to try to see what we can do. So let me take a look at the Gung-Ho thing. Hey, Tina, when I'm done with this, we're going to try something. So if you're around, that'd be cool. All right, Gung-Ho. If the target was destroyed and has the Gung-Ho notation, all pilots in the squadron regain any use to... okay, that doesn't tell me what Gung-Ho does. Oh, boy. Right off the bat, we've already killed the guy. Oh, I add +1 to all my die rolls. Oh, but I didn't roll anything. Not cool. Boy, this is bad. This is bad, bad, bad. Recover under fire. Homebound. -5 is killed in action, which isn't cool. I'm just checking the rule. I just want to make sure that if I already killed my guy, that's pretty bad. And it's going to be a really bad modifier for the overall mission, because the whole point is that if we're -5, it's a dismal campaign. We need at least 12 points to have a good campaign. All right, place Gung-Ho pilot. You can expend a Gung-Ho counter to do any one of the following. Treat an unfit or shaken pilot as being okay for the current mission. After suffering a shaken, damaged, or destroyed result, pilot may spend Gung-Ho counter to treat it as no effect. Whoo! Whoo! Good thing we picked him, because he has a Gung-Ho counter, and we are going to take that and say la vie to his Gung-Ho. So his Gung-Ho is used right on the first turn. Wow. Did he get lucky? And boy, did I get lucky. Now, can I roll that good in return? Probably not. All right, so now that we figured that out, which was an absolute disaster, let's go to the next part. So after the bandits attack and the sights attacked, we are going to, all the slow pilots are going to attack. Now, here's the neat thing. We have this guy that'll take a direct shot onto him if we can't kill him. All we have to do is one hit to this guy and we're good. So here's what's going to happen. We have to roll and change position for this guy, because, boy, and we don't have any Gung-Ho to bail us out. So back on our chart, let's go over here. We're going to put that chart back here. Now we get to pick any one of these. So I want to change position and attack. Now, I'm going to pull him out. Sakamoto, who is really, really good, he gets +1 to anything air to air. So we're going to roll. I need to change position. I'm going to try a half loop. Okay. So I'm going to get +1, and I'm going to get a +1 because he has a -1. So let's go back to our main scene here. Because he has a -1, that's a +1. So I need to roll somewhat decent here. Let's see if I can do that. So I'm going to try half loop, because we want to try to change positions here. And we've got a 5, which is, we're going to add 2 to that. So that's going to be a 7. And on our chart here, on a 7, we get to move for half loop 2 positions. Now that's good for us, because we're going to go 1, and then we're going to move him to a disadvantage. Okay? So let me show you what just happened, because I need to change the thing. So I was at a disadvantage. So I get to move 2 positions. The position is to move back to neutral, and then I get to move him 1 position, which is going to be an advantage. So I'm going to get +1. So now I'm getting +3 on my attack. Now all I need to do to hit this guy, okay, is what do I need to hit? Oh, I have guns. So let's show you that. So we're going to go over to scene 2, and I'm going to show you his card real quick. On the bottom here, there is a yellow number, okay, and we're just trying to get it. It says guns 8. We're trying to get an 8, okay, with all our modifiers and everything else. We're trying to get an 8. So let's give that a go and see what happens, huh? Hopefully we can possibly get something to go our way. But we also add 1 to all of our pilot's die rolls. Okay, so that's going to help us, because we have this card here. That remember we pulled this card, and it said add 1 to all your die rolls on the top here. Okay, so let's see what we get. So we're going to roll. Oh, a 1. A 1 plus 3 is 4. Well, I mean, come on, really? That's horrible. All right. Well, now it's after that hideous shot, it's going to be Neville's turn. Now Neville just gets a straight up shot. Neville, air to air, is plus 3. Yes, he's plus 3. So let's take a look at his card. And I'm going to show you what exactly our boy has here. Did I miss something here? No. I didn't give Sakamoto nothing. Okay, so I'm going to come up to scene 2. And here we go. So, if you see here, air to air, he has no stress on him. He's going to get plus 3. So, wow. That's going to be a big deal for Neville. So, hopefully. And he has Agile. So, what does Agile do? Well, I'm going to tell you what Agile does. Agile, you may go evasive without suffering stress. Ooh, so that means if somebody was shooting at me, I would be able to... See, I could have put a stress on Sakamoto and rolled 2 dice. And what would have happened is I could take the lower result. Okay. But that's not going to help us anyways. All right, so here we go. We're going to roll. And it's a 3. Plus 3 is 6. A minus 1 is 7. Oh. And we get plus 1 to all our die rolls, which is 8. So his guns are 8. So we actually hit him barely. Because he has plus 3. The bandit has minus 1, so that's plus 4. We get plus 1 to our die roll. We only needed an 8 on our guns. And wow, we hit him and we killed him. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to show you. First of all, we're going to go back to the main board here. And we are going to take him off the board. He is dead and removed. So everybody is back and everything's okay. Everybody feels great. But on our campaign sheet, we're going to mark down for Neville. We have here, and we have these little stars here. So every time we hit and kill somebody, we are going to, that's going to be experience points. Or, oh God, I forgot what they call the points. But we're going to mark off for Neville that he just shot down somebody. Because every certain amount of points, he gets to level up. Yes, and that's cool. So, XP, yes, he got experience and he shot down a plane. That's excellent. So we mark that down, and that's fantastic. That's going to help us out. And now that we did that and everybody did all their pilots attack, now our aircraft are going to move. So all our aircraft are going to move into here, into where our target is. We're going to move these guys in, okay? And there we go. So now any bandits, if there were any bandits left, would move, but they don't have any. Now we're going to advance the turn marker. So now we're up at that turn 3. So dive bombers are going to dive to low. Okay. So I have some dive bombers because that's who we're going to use. They're going to get plus 1 to their rolls. So Benson, Lewis, and, well, Clegg is a newbie, so he doesn't get plus 1, so he doesn't dive. But he is going to go low because he wants to drop those 500-pounders that he has. Yes, he does. So we're going to move him low. Sakamoto is going to go low. And also Neville's going to low because we're going to have to deal with this site soon. So anybody that's a fast pilot. Do we have any fast pilots? No. So now sites and bandits attack. Uh-oh. Well, here we go. The sites are going to attack, and the way that works is they're going to roll a die. They're going to take a shot, and they need a 6. Now, when they try to hit and that's air to ground. And since, let's see who they're going to want to shoot at. So here's the best way to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to roll a die. Let's see who they're shooting at. That's the best way to do it. It's always random. And 3. So 1, 2, 3. Sakamoto. Man, dude, you can't catch a break, bro. So Sakamoto is going to be shot at. He has +2 air to ground. So anything that he rolls, that is going to be a negative. So let's roll. We're going to take a stress. And by taking a stress, that's called evade. Okay? So we're going to roll 2d10 and we're going to take the smallest one. But we're going to add a stress to him. Now, what does stress do, you probably ask? Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you what stress does. Stress does a lot of things. First of all, I'm under stress trying to run this game. But stress changes your perspective. Now, if you look here, if you have 0 to 4 stress, everything's okay. You're still slow and you get all those bonuses. But once you get into the 5 to 7 range, you're shaken. You're still slow, but you notice how your numbers change. Your air to air and your air to ground advantages change. So that's not good. Now also, he has cool. So because I'm going to put stress on him, he's going to absorb that stress. So that's good. So basically, he's getting to evade for virtually nothing, which is cool. All right. So now we're here. So I don't have to put a stress on him because he's going to take the stress, but because he's cool and he's an average pilot, he's used to this and that. So we're going to roll 2d10 and we're going to take the lowest number. Okay. All right. Well, we're not going to take that 10 because again, our boy would be killed. But we're going to take the 1. And the 1 minus 2 is even minus of that. So it's a complete mess. And we're going to start our bombing run. Whew. That was close. All right. So now, let's start with, let's drop that 1,000-pounder, right? I mean, we got it. Might as well use it, right? So Lewis is going to drop a 1,000-pounder. And let's take a look at Lewis's card here. As you can see, he has +1 air to ground. All right, that's awesome. So he's going to drop a 1,000-pounder, and he needs a 5 to do 1 hit, a 7 to do 2 hits, and a 10 to do 3 hits. So he's +1 already. But if you noticed on the bottom here also, he dive bombed. Okay? So he's going to get another +1. So that's 8. I mean, that's 2 off, which is very, very good for us. So now let's give it a go. Let's roll. Let's see what happens. And hopefully Lewis can do some significant damage to our friend here. So we're going to roll. And oh, he got a 10. He got a 10. +2 is 12. He's going to do 3 damage. 3 damage. 3 of the 6 damage that we need to win this game, he's going to do on our first thing. So that 1,000-pounder just said, hey, how you doing? Hope you like me. So, boom. 3 right off the bat. All right. That was good. Now he's deposited that, so that's gone. Now he could be a fighter if we had to fight our way out. So we're going to use that. That's used. Next, we're going to use Benson. Because Benson can really, really do some damage here. Benson has grit. That's okay. We're gonna stick with what he's got there. Let's take a look at Benson and what he brings to the table here. And we're gonna go here after that fantastic roll. Benson gives us a +2. He also dived, so it's +1, and so now it's going to be +3. So you got the dive and then air to ground. Because he has no stress, it is actually going to be a +3. So the first 500 pounder. Now we need a 7 or a 10. A 7 will do 2 damage, but a 10 would take that side out. So hopefully we can do that. So for the first 500 pounder, it's a 5 plus 3 is 8. So that's going to do 2. The second one, all we need is a hit. An 8 plus, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And now with those 2 bombs, we've actually taken out that sight. We actually overkilled it, to be honest with you. We destroyed it and we hit it with 7. Boom. All right. So now, after we did that, we would advance the time marker. The bandits would go. No. Now we're going to draw home. We're going to draw a homebound event card. Okay, so now let's go take a look at that. Whew, those guys barely made it out. So I'm going to draw a card now. And we're going to draw that card. And what does that homebound event say? Well, it says gain SO points equal to the number of days in this campaign. So we would gain 1 SO point, which is good because we had 13. Now we got 14. All right. So now we're going to go back to our main page, and I'm going to show you where we are in day 1. So day 1, we took care of, and I'm going to show you how this works. Down on the bottom here, and starting SO points, we had 13. I'm writing backwards, so forgive me. Okay, we started with 20. Excuse me, 20. We used 7. We had 13. Okay, target status. It is destroyed, which is X. How many victory points did we earn? Well, we earned 5. Okay. We gained an SO point. So now we have 14. So we're going to put that up over here, that we gained 1. So our starting points would be 14 for the next one. So we just want to, well, we would leave, yeah. Yep, 14. All right, let me just write that in so I can I'll do it the other way here. Now, everybody that went on that run gets, okay, recording now. We're going to go and we're going to figure out what happens and what we get. Okay. Because we end the mission. Let me come over here. All right. Did anybody get messed up? No. Everybody would gain 1 stress. Well, who would gain 1 stress? The only person, well, we have -3 stress for Clove, but Clove's going to take 1 stress. And we're going to come over here. I'm going to show you what happens here. Now, because he has cool, the mission, he would get 1 stress. Oh, what's this? Oh, overkill. 8+. Oh, if we just did, well, wait a minute. We did 3, 5, and 3. No, we did 3, 5, and 2, 8. So we would gain a victory point. Oh, so we got 6 victory points. I'm sorry. I was just looking at this card, and I'll show it to you over here. The card on the bottom here says Scramble, Soft, Friendly Fire, Overkill, +8, gain 1 VP. So that means we get an extra VP, which brings us up to 6 for that particular day mission. The card that we took out was 4. So that one's gone. So that site is now destroyed. We took care of that. And on the card, it'll tell us if there's any adjustment to the recon or the intel. There is not. So we're good there. So those stay right where they are. The next thing that happens is we roll for SAR. Now, what's SAR? Oh, if anybody was messed up, nope. Everybody that would get a a stress would get a stress. He does not get a stress. Our boy here gets 1 stress. It's his first mission, so he was a wreck. Lewis, he has nothing to absorb. He has +1 cool, so that means he does not get a stress. Neville, even though he did the most damage, he gets a stress. Benson, he gets a stress. It's all right, buddy. It only hurts for a little while. So those guys are going to fly back with some stress, and they're going to rest. You could take them out again, but you're taking a risk, by overusing them, of possibly getting them too much stress, and then, eventually they're going to just check out on you. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do as part of our campaign, experience. Each aircraft gets 1 experience point for completing the mission. Okay, so everybody that went out. So we had Neville got an experience point. Okay, each aircraft gains 1 extra XP for completing a mission if the target was destroyed and no aircraft were destroyed. Well, now we get 2 experience points each. So, what's going to happen? Lewis is going to get 2 experience points. Klieg is going to get 2 experience points, which is good. Now, all we do is just mark those off on our sheet. As you can see where I'm marking them off. Benson gets 2. Sakamoto gets 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then who else did we take with us? Klieg, Sakamoto, Neville, Lewis. Oh, Lewis. That's the guy I'm missing. So Lewis gets 2 experience points. So we completed the first day. And you can see it was a little tough, but it could have been a lot tougher. Now, as we pull cards, there's going to be harder missions. And we're going to go and end up going to different areas. Gung-Ho sets after they rest. So you can reset the Gung-Ho eventually. But he's got to go back. So very cool. Watch out for my in-law. What? Okay. So now we would go to day 2, and that's how we would progress the campaign. And we're trying. So right now we're at 6. So we have 6. We're poor. Our campaign is poor. So we're not doing very good. This is a 3-day campaign. We've got 2 more days. Hopefully we can get up to adequate or good or even great. But that's going to be real hard over the next 2 days. And what we would do is we keep on going. Now, as you can see, depending on what we pull, the missions could have no stress. The missions can have 1 stress or 2 stress. And that's going to tax our squadron here. So, this one's done. Hey, cool for us. But the next one might be tough. And we're going to have some tough decisions. But we've got to rest some of our pilots to get rid of their stress. And there you go. So, that's how you play Corsair Leader. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. The first day, I'm going to do another day over the weekend. And it is going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually planning on possibly, believe it or not, doing, Tiger Leader or Sherman Leader this weekend, or Warfighter. I haven't made up my mind. If you see this later in the evening or later tomorrow, before I come on tomorrow night, let me know what you want to see. You want to see Warfighter? Do you want to see Tiger Leader? Do you want to see this again? Do you want to see... We're going to have some fun. We're going to do some things. Or do you want to see maybe Defenders of the Realm? Let me know. We're working our camera angles out. We're trying to work everything to where it needs to be, and so we can bring a better product to you going forward. All right, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching it. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed doing this. And Nemo's War. That's another good one that we can do. I would love to do that. Maybe we can get Tina. Hopefully, if Tina and I can figure this thing out, maybe we can get her in here and try it out. All right. I've said it all. Guys, Make a decision. Leave what you want to see in the comments. We'll see you tomorrow night when we do this again. I hope you enjoyed this. We're moving forward, and we're trying to do things fun and adventurous and just have a good time and give you a better product. I got to work on a few things that I noticed, but we'll get there. I promise you. We'll see you soon.